Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we are going to go over Dmvpn Phase 2. And in Dmvpn Phase 2, um, it's going to be almost identical to the configuration of Dmvpn Phase 1, but it's going to work differently, because in Dmvpn Phase 1 we saw that there is no direct spoke-to-spoke communication. In phase 2, there will be a multi-point GRE tunnel interface on the spokes as well, instead of point-to-point GRE tunnel. So we have direct spoke-to-spoke tunneling in phase 2. When a spoke router wants to reach each other or reach to another spoke router, it will send out a NHRP resolution request to the hub to find the NBMA address of the other spoke. So I first want to I just want to configure Phase version 1, so you guys can differentiate Phase version 1 versus Phase version 2, because they are the same, almost the same configuration. It's just one command that's going to be different. So let's go ahead and start with spoke number 3 right here. I believe I have them open already. Let's go ahead and close this one. We're not going to use the ISP. I can close that one as well. So let's go ahead and start with this configuration. Config G, and also uh, let's actually start with the hub. So in the hub, um, let's go ahead and start with the hub. Yeah, I like to start with the configuration of the hub. Config G. So let's go ahead and create a tunnel interface, and this one is going to be for the GRE tunnel. This is where we are going to create the multi-point tunnel, the DMVPN tunnel, and we're going to give an IP address of the hub. It's going to be 192 um, 168.1.1/24. After we do that, we're going to just tell a no IP regex, because that is for phase 3. After we do that, since we are going to be configuring IP, no IP split horizon, and I'll explain it what this means. EIGRP, actually no, EIGRP1, there we go. I forgot the autonomous system. And then IP NHRP authentication. So we're going to use this code for Cisco to authenticate. And then we're going to do IP NHRP map multicast and multicast dynamic. This command tells the hub router where to forward multicast packets to. So since it is dynamic, and then we need to do an IP NHRP network ID. We're going to put it as 10. Okay. So after we do that, we need to go ahead and give it a tunnel source key cable 00. Oops. There you go. Why is it telling me? There we go. 00. Because that is the source where everything it is. That's where we are connected to this interface right here. And then the tunnel mode, we got to give it a GRE multipoint, and that means that we are going to be talking to multiple spokes or to multiple locations. Since we have spoke 1 and spoke 2 and spoke 3 right here, we are going to have a multi-point um, communication on this interface, right? That's why we have configured this as multi-point. And then after we do that, we need to configure EIGRP. So let's go ahead and exit EIGRP, or actually, that's not you configure your router. EIGRP, and I believe is 10 for no split horizon, or 1. Let's do no auto summary. Let's add the networks. The first one that I want to add is going to be the loopback address that I have configured. And the loopback, it is just trying to mimic a network that I have, but since I don't have a network, I just created a loopback address. And then the next one that we want to add is going to be the tunnel one. There we go. Exit. So now we have created that interface, that DMP interface, logical interface for the hub. So now what I want to do is I want to configure the two spokes, and this one is going to be for spoke number 3, and I want to actually just put on a leaf pad so I can copy and paste everything I'm doing. So that way I work faster. And like I said before, I'm going to configure Phase version 1 too, so you can see how Phase version 1 works. Um, and then I'm just going to change it back to Phase version 2, and you're going to see how they are going to be working, how different they work. So for spoke 3, we are going to have an interface of tunnel tunnel 0. The IP address of it is going to be 192.168.1.3/24 because it is spoke 3. It is 3. Okay, that's how I have it in my mind. And we have to do an IP NHRP authentication. Need to make sure I spell everything right because I'm going to copy and paste. Authentication is Cisco, then IP NHRP map, and I want to map 192.168.10.1, and not that 10.1, that 1.1 because that is a hub. So I'm telling them that if somebody's looking for this logical IP address, which is this tunnel right here, the hub, I want you to send it to this NBMA, to this IP address right here. So 192.1.10.1. That's what I wanted to send it. That's what the map does, okay? And then IP and HRP map multicast, and this one is going to be the MBMA address. There we go. And then we need to configure IP and HRP network ID 10 to turn on NHRP, and then IP and HRP NHS. This means that I'm telling where the server is. So where the hub is for NHRP, I'm going to tell it where it is right now. And to tell it where it is, we need to mention the logical IP address, which is this one right here. And what it's going to do is, since this router does not know how to get there, what it's going to do is it's going to say like this logical address. How can I get to there? And it's going to go to the map, and the map is going to tell it to, if you want to go to this logical address, you got to go to this physical address right here, or to that physical interface with this IP address. Okay, all good, good. Now let's do a tunnel source. It's going to be gigabit 00, and tunnel destination. Destination is going to be the MBMA address again, which is this one right here. This is for the spoke, all right? And then let's do router EIGRP, and we don't need to do no IP split horizon because we're only going to get, we're not getting, like we don't need to, whatever we learn, we're not going to learn anything from, the only thing that we're going to be learning is going to be this hub. Actually, you only configure on the hub because when you learn the address, you want to make sure that it goes, whatever you learn, the source, you want it to go out the same way. And that's why we configure, um, we say no split horizon, because no split horizon, what it does is, if you learn an EIGRP route from the source, it won't send anything, it won't send any updates out. So therefore, if it's not going to send anything out, then some of the spokes won't be able to learn the other routes. Okay, so EIGRP 10 needs to match with the hub and I believe I configured it, was it 10 or 1? I think it was 1. Let's give it a 1. No auto summary. The network is going to be 3.3.3.3. That is the loopback address that I have. And then the network of that is the network for the logical interface for the DMVPN tunnel. Okay. So now we have configured everything we need. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of this and I'm going to just edit. So this one is going to be for tunnel number 2. This IP address needs to change to 2. That's good. And this one right here is going to be 2 as well. There we go. And then the rest needs to stay the same. That's it. So let's go ahead and copy this and paste it into um, spoke 3. Good. And now let's go ahead into spoke number 2. Copy it right here. Paste it right here. Config T. Good. You can see that we are going to form a network adjacency. There we go. Good. And that if we do a show IP and HRP, we can see that we have a static IP address to the NHS. That's good. So that means that we have communication. So now, since phase version 1 has been configured, let's go ahead and do a trace route, and let's go ahead and ping spoke number 3 loopback address. As you can see, it is going through this hub interface right here, and then it's going to the spoke. Let's see if it does that again. You see, it keeps doing it again. And this is what is not good to configure Dmvpn Phase 1 because all the routes, all the traffic is going to go through the main hub. And you don't want that because you're going to need a bigger or a better router for the hub because the hub is going to have to send all the traffic between the two spokes. And even if you have like 1,000 spokes, then the hub is going to be the one sending those traffics out. And if the hub goes down, then the spokes won't be able to communicate with each other. And that's why they came out in phase version 2. What they came out with is that uh, the only thing, the first packet is going to be the only one that's going to go through the hub. And then after that, we are going to form a spoke to spoke, a spoke to spoke tunnel between the spokes, right? We're still going to have communication with the hub just in case my interface IP address changes, then I have to communicate that with the hub, and that's going to create another tunnel. Then it's going to send the first packet through the hub, and then after that, the spokes are going to be able to create a tunnel themselves, right? So as you can see right here, it still sends all the traffic through the hub. So let's go ahead and configure phase version 2, and you're going to read that we only have to do one change for that, and that change that we need to make um, for that is going to be that we need to configure the tunnel mode is going to be changed to um, tunnel mode GRE multipoint, and we do not have it right now because the default right now is tunnel mode GRE point to point, but we want to change that to, let's go ahead and do it at the end, tunnel mode GRE multi-point. Okay, and let's go ahead and copy this and paste it on spoke 3. So what I want to do first, config T, let's do a no interface tunnel 0 so we can delete it. Let's do that on spoke 3 as well. Exit no interface tunnel 0. Good. So now we have the new configuration. Let's go ahead and copy this to create the new tunnel and paste it right here. Okay, I forgot to do something. I have to delete the destination. because we're not going to be doing that. The multipoint is replacing that destination. So let's do no interface tunnel 0. There we go. So now what you need to do is delete that destination, and it needs to be replaced by the tunnel mode GRE multipoint. So on spoke 3, let's go ahead and do that again. Good. We have formed a network adjacency. Let's go ahead and go to the spoke 2 and do the same. Oops, I copied it by accident. Let's go ahead and copy this, paste it. There we go. Okay, everything good. Good. Let's do show IP NSRP. Let's see what we have here. You can see right here that we have formed that NSRP tunnel, the DMVPN tunnel. So now what you're going to see is I'm going to, from the spoke to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it. I'm going to ping this interface, which is the loopback address of spoke 3. Actually, I want to do a trace route. Instead of a pin, I want to do a trace route. And as you can see that the packet is going through 192.168.1.1, which is the hub. But then after that, it should just go straight to the, okay, the tunnel has been created. It should now cut the hub, and these two spokes should be able to create a tunnel, which they have not done yet. Let's go ahead and ping 192.168.1.3. There you go. So as you can see now, whenever you ping, oh, whenever you ping 192.168.1.3, you can see now that it's not going through the hub anymore. Now they have a spoke-to-spoke tunnel created. Let's go ahead and do a show IP NSRP. And you can see that we have a couple tunnels created. So we have one created, which was static created. We created manually, that's why it says static, with 192.168.1.1 static. And now we have a couple more tunnels, which is this one right here, 192.168.1.2, which was dynamically created. And we also have another one right here, 192.168.1.3, which is our own tunnel that has been created as well. And you can see that the MBMA address is 192.1.30.1. So we have a couple more tunnels created. This one is the spoke to hub tunnel. This one right here is the spoke to spoke tunnel, right? Because we have the logical IP address 192.168.1.2, which is the IP address of the tunnel. And it's saying that to get to this tunnel, you want to get to this MBMA address, or this interface IP address 192.1.20.1, which is this one right here. And that is for spoke number 2. So now let's go ahead and do it from over here. Show IP NSRP. And for show IP NSRP, you can see that we have two tunnels right here. One to the spoke to hub. So this spoke right here to this hub has been created. And we also have another tunnel created right here, which is a spoke to spoke tunnel, because this tunnel is going to 192.168.1.2, and the MBMA address is 192.1.20.1, which is this spoke right here. So we have created a tunnel, a spoke to spoke tunnel dynamically, because we did not manually create it. This one was manually created because we specified the NHS IP address in our configuration. So if we do a trace route to the IP address, the loopback IP address of the spoke 2, it's going to send over here. But if we do a trace route to 192.168.1.2, you're going to see that it goes straight to the spoke. So we're not using this hub anymore because we're going straight to the spoke, right? So we're not using the hub as much. So that is the difference between um, Phase version 1. In Phase version 1, everything goes through the hub, but in Phase version 2, um, the spokes are able to build a tunnel because in Phase version 1 they were not able to build their own tunnel, and that's why everything was going through the hub. And this is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Dmvpn Phase version 2. And on the next video, I'm probably going to go over Phase version 3 of Dmvpn, and then we're going to move on to Phase version 4. Or it is, they say it is Phase version 4, but it is Phase version 4 that has the Flex VPN, which means that we have to configure IKE version 2. On this tunnels right here, we have not configured IKE version 1, but I believe after DMVPN Phase version 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to DMVPN Phase version 1, and I'm going to configure that with IKE version 1 and IPsec so everything can be encrypted because right now everything is in clear text. So I'm going to do Phase version 1 with IKE version 1 and IPsec, and then DMVPN with IKE version 1 and IPsec, and then DMVPN phase 3 with IKE version 1 and IPsec. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys, and if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, CCNA Daily Tips. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips if you have a Twitter account, and if you don't have a Twitter account, go ahead and create a Twitter account and then follow me on Twitter. So thank you guys for watching, and I see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.